So this is going to be the lab number one in the Amazon AWS Cloud Practitioner series, and the lab name is Introduction to AWS IAM. So IAM is Identity Access Management Service of AWS. I have to do three tasks in this lab. So let's start the activity. So I am already inside the Amazon console home on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we have the instructions to follow this lab. It says at the end of this lab you will be instructed to submit the lab to receive a score based on your progress. So in task 1 it is says explore the users and groups. So in this task you will explore the users and group that have already been created for you in IAM. So let's go to IAM. In the navigation pane on the left, choose users, and yes, we have user 1, user 2 and user 3. Choose user 1 link. This will bring a summary page for user 1, and the permission tab will be displayed. Notice that user 1 does not have any permission. Yes. Choose the group tab. User 1 also is not a member of any group. Choose the security credential tab. User 1 is assigned a console password. Yes. In the navigation pane on the left, choose user groups. And the following groups have already been created for you: EC2 admin, EC2 support, and S3 support. Choose EC2 support, group link. This will bring you to the summary page for the EC2 support group. Choose permission tab, and we have a permission related to this group, which is Amazon EC2 read-only access permission. Managed policy are pre-built policies built either by AWS or your administrator that can be attached to IAM users and groups. When the policy is updated, the change to the policy are immediately applied against all users and groups that are attached to the policy. So next is choose plus icon next to the Amazon EC2 to view the policy detail. This policy is granted permission to list and describe information about EC2, elastic load balancing, CloudWatch, and auto scaling. This ability to view resources but not modify them is idle for assigning to a support role. The basic structure of the statement in an IAM policy is effect says whether to allow or deny the permission. Action specify that API call that can be made against the AWS services and resources. Defines the scope of entities covered by the policy rule. So next is choose the minus icon. In the navigation pane on the left, choose user groups and S3 spot group link and then choose permission tab. S3 spot group has Amazon S3 read only access policy attached. Choose plus and this policy grant permission to get and list resources in Amazon S3. Choose minus icon and again on left hand side user groups choose easy to admin and choose permission tab again and in easy to admin policy we have action which this group is slightly different from other two. Instead of managed policy it has inline policy which is a policy assigned to just one user or group. Inline policies are typically used to apply permission for one-off situation. So it says that action has easy to describe, asterisk, easy to start instant, and easy to stop instances. A resource is any resource. Task 2 is about to add users to groups. So you have recently hired user 1 into a role where they will provide support for Amazon S3. You will add them to to the S3 support group so that they inherit the necessary permission via the attached Amazon S3 read-only access policy. So it says you can ignore any not authorized error that appear during this task. They are caused by your lab account having limited permissions. Okay. So add user 1 to the S3 spot. Okay, let's go to user group spot S3. Choose user, add user, and in the add user to S3 spot window, select user 1, add user, and user 1 is added to this group. Similarly, add user 2, similarly, add user 3. We need to add user 3 to admin, easy to admin group. So let's add user 3 here. Using similar steps to the ones above, add user 3 to the EC2 admin group, which is done. User 3 should now be part of EC2 admin group. Yes, it is. And in the navigation pane on the left, choose user group. Each group should have now have one user column. Okay, spot doesn't have any user actually. Let's add a user here as well. Let's go to yes. If you do not have one beside each group, revisit the above instructions we have. So we have completed task 2 here. So next task 3 is sign in and test users. So it says in the navigation pane, choose dashboard and a sign in URL for IAM user in this account link. Here we have the sign in URL for IAM user in this account. Copy the sign in URL which we have copied and open a private incognito window. So let's continue with in private window and go to this URL. So paste the IAM user sign in link into the address bar of your private browser session and press enter. Then you will sign in as user one who has been hired as your Amazon S3 support staff. Okay. Sign in with IAM username user1. So it says user1 password is lab password 1. Sign into the account. Go to S3. Choose the name of the bucket that exists in the account. I don't see any bucket in here. So it says choose the name of the bucket that exists in the account and browse the content. Since your user is part of S3 support group in IAM, they have permission to view a list of Amazon S3 bucket. So let me confirm that our user have the right permissions. Let's go to user group, S3 support. We have user 2, not user 1. So let's add user 1 here. Now user 1 is added. Let's refresh this page. S3. Yes, now we have a sample bucket here. Let's open this bucket. Bucket is empty. Now test whether they have access to Amazon EC2. So let's go to EC2. And you cannot see any instances. Instead, you see a message that states you are not authorized to perform this operation. Okay, so user 2 is to EC2 support. User 1 is not in here. Let's delete this. Now we have, and in S3 support we only have user 1. So as an admin, EC2 admin group we have user 3. EC2 support we have user 2, and S3 support we have user 1. Not this one. Where is private? Yes, this one. Let's refresh the page. So now it says you are not authorized to perform this operation because we have added the correct permissions. And next is sign out user 1. Next is paste user sign in link to your private browser. Again, now it's time to use user to lab password to log in. Search EC2. You are now able to see EC2 instances. Yes, I can. Because you have read-only permission. However, you will not be able to make any changes to Amazon EC2 resources. In the instance state menu, select stop. So in the instance state, select stop. You will receive an error stating you are not authorized to perform this action, and it says you are not authorized to perform this operation. Yes, and now select S3. We don't have any bucket because user 2 does not have permission to access Amazon S3. Now we will sign in as user 3. So let's log in as user 3, lab password 3. Let's go to EC2 instances, and it says as an administrator you have permission to stop these instances. So let's go to instances. Okay, let me go here in user group, admin. We have user 3 here. This time successfully initiated stopping. So last step is to close this private browser window and submitting your work. To record your progress, choose submit at the top of this instruction. Some of the check made by submission process in this lab will only give you credit if it has been at least 5 minutes since you completed the action. So now it's grading and submitting report. Submission report is being generated. After a couple of minutes, the grade panel appear and show you the marks or the grades you have earned for each task, and we have done every task correctly, and the score is 40 out of 40. So this lab is completed. Thank you.